Okay, so we're talking about the Cartesian plane. Now, the learning goal is that you should be able to assign ordered pairs to given points on the Cartesian plane. And at the end of this, you want to be able to describe a point according to its coordinates and place a point on a Cartesian plane according to its coordinates. Okay, debito ergo cogito ergo sum. It's a very famous phrase said by this guy here, René Descartes, who was a philosopher and mathematician who lived in the 17th century. And it means, it's Latin for I doubt, therefore I think, therefore I am. And so he's saying that, so if he doubts, if he can sit here and doubt about things, the existence of the world, the fact that there's maybe everything could be a dream perhaps, if he doubts, that means he must be able to think. If he can think, it must mean that he exists. And that was sort of the progression he went through. Now, some people kind of disagree with him, but he was very influential in that. Okay, now that his philosophy and stuff wasn't the only thing he was interested in. He was also interested in being able to do geometry, or be able to express algebra geometrically. Okay, and he came up with this idea of expressing geometry as a set of points, so x and y. And so you can use this to, for example, we can say that this function here, and this could be y is equal to 2x squared plus, actually it's probably going to be minus 3x plus 2. So he could say you can represent this problem algebraic problem as a geometric problem on these kind of Cartesian planes. So that was super influential from a mathematics point of view. Okay, now we're not going to get into that just yet, but that's where this eventually goes. Okay, so a couple of key ideas. So the Cartesian plane is a two-dimensional piece of geometric space that extends infinitely in all directions. So all the way out here and down this way, positively and negatively. Okay, so we've got an x-axis, so that's positive x, and this side's negative x. And we've got y up here and then negative y down here. All right, now we also talk about things that this one is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. This little piece in here is the origin, okay, at the very center there. So the origin is at the point 0, 0, okay? Now we describe a point by its coordinates as something called an ordered pair. So it's a pair of numbers and they're in order because it's important. So this point here we would give as its x value, then its y value. Okay, now that means at what x value is it and at what y value is it. Okay, so that's sort of what we mean by that. You'll see that in the worked examples a bit below anyway. So the x-axis, as I said before, is horizontal and the y-axis is vertical. Now we have these things in maths called a function, or sometimes they're called a rule, is a mathematical kind of machine which can be used to map x values to y values. So, and this is something for later on, not something you have to worry about this year, we might have a function that's called 2x plus 3. Okay, so what happens is that we shove x values into here and it will spit out a y value for us. Okay, so if we get the number 2 and chuck it in, it's going to multiply it by 2. 2 times 2 is 4 plus another 3. 2 turns into 7. And so we would end up mapping those together as becoming the point 2, 7. Okay, and we'd be able to plot that then onto our Cartesian plane. So there's a lot of sort of stuff that happens with that, and that's a bit related to that example that I showed you right at the top with that big curvy graph. Okay, right, let's have a look at some worked examples. Okay, let's write down the coordinates of the points on this Cartesian plane. So let's get, so A has an x value of 4 and a y value of 3. So A is 4, 3. Remember, it's x value first, then y value. Okay, B is down here. So we've got x value of 1 and a y value of -3. Okay, so B is equal to 1 comma negative 3. C, got it's up at 5 and 4, sorry, negative 4 and 5, so C is equal to negative 4 comma 5. D is equal to, where is it down here? We've got negative 4 and negative 4. E, where's E? Over here. Okay, so it's on the x-axis, so we've got 5 for its x value, and its y value is here, which is 0. So we've got negative 5 comma 0. F is right in the center, so it's 0 comma 0. G is over here, so it's 2, and its y value is 0, so 2 comma 0. GH all the way up here, so it's on the y-axis, so its x value down here is 0, so H is 0 comma 4. Okay, so that's getting an ordered pair from a set of points on a Cartesian plane. And lastly, we also need to be able to place the following points onto a Cartesian plane. So 2 comma 3, so we come out to x is 2, and we go up to y is 3. And so there's our point there. We might call that A. Okay, so that's A, B, C, and D. Okay, so B is 4 comma negative 1. So we go to x is 4. Should probably put x and y on here. Hey? X is 4 and y is negative 1. So that's our point B there. Negative 1. C is 0 comma 3. So that means x is 0 and y is 3, so that means there, so that's C. And D, lastly, negative 2 and 0, so come back to x is negative 2 here, and y is 0, which is, so it's going to be right on the point there, so that will be D. Okay, so that's how we get some ordered pairs and plot them onto a Cartesian plane. Okay, thank you so much for watching that. Again, it's another one of those ones where you're just going to be practice until you can easily go from points onto a plane or from plane back to what the different points are. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you at school.